Just getting the live going here. Let's get to the home. Okay, I just wanted to try to get on this on the right side. I wanted to talk a little bit more about this matchup right here, right? And there's a reason for it. Now, I got a little feedback. Now, I know I went Storm on this versus here. This was a versus battle, obviously, that I picked for a lot of reasons. Obviously, Storm and StormFront, they're going to be near each other. I just happened to see this. And I thought, man, for two women going at it, this is a great fight. Like I really believe that this would be a great fight. I think you obviously they're on different sides of the spectrum in terms of like what they're all about, right? And that kind of was what making this versus a little bit more special. Is that man, they're polar opposites, right? Obviously, Stormfront would be, she would hate Storm, right? She would hate all that elegance and all that beauty. So that was really the main, and then I think their powers are kind of interesting. Like I had it wrong with Stormfront. She doesn't control weather, but she does influence lightning and be able to project plasma beams, right? That's really the thrust of her powers. But she's also got that healing factor, which is pretty significant. She can fly. She's got really enhanced strength and durability as well. So she's got a lot going for her in this fight right now. Storm obviously is an Omega level mutant, and we know Storm's one of the most powerful of the X-Men. Like we've seen Storm, there's Storm the mutant. She's at a Mega level, right? We've seen her post her connection with T'Challa, the Black Panther, where they venerate her, and she begins to manifest like goddess abilities. Like the Storm character is completely off the hook, right? Okay, so I'll never take a swipe at Storm, right? I love Storm better than any character. I mean, like she's probably like, when I started reading comic books, I was like 13 years old, so I was heavily influenced by this, and I love Storm. That's my lady right there. I told you guys, like, absolutely, like, probably. I'm trying to think, man. She's definitely at the top of the list of my favorite characters, right? Just my favorite comic book personalities, right? Like, she's definitely at the top right there. So I never wanted. So I'm never really picking against her, and I'm not really picking against her right now. But what I'm saying is, we need to be smart about coming at Stormfront. Like we got to be honest about the Stormfront fight. This ain't no joke. Stormfront is no joke. She's very powerful soup. Okay, and this is why this is kind of a dangerous battle for my girl. If you're on Team Storm, like that's my girl. So we speaking in one mindset here. Okay, and this is what worries me. Okay, this is how it really worries me. How do we go about attacking Stormfront, who has a lot of strength and durability? How do we go about doing this? Now let's remember that we once saw her take a laser beam to the boobs from Homelander, okay? And this was like a sex thing for her. Now I know that Ryan ends up, blazing her up a few episodes later, and I got some questions about that. I got some questions about the writing going down there. Now, if they're telling me Homelander was only giving her like a half beam or quarter beam, okay, I'm willing to work with you on there. But when he first hit her, man, it didn't seem like he's shown different levels of that I beam. That I beam either goes right through you, and that's typically what it is. Okay, so but given that we know she has some durability, so that I think limits some of the weaponry that Storm's going to naturally produce. Okay, so like I'm saying, she's a prodigious fighter. She does know how to fight. Okay, Stormfront is highly skilled fighter as well. She's also a soldier, right? So it's not like you're fighting against someone who just got super strong, doesn't know how to bang. She's gonna know how to fight, right? And she's killed a lot of people before. She's very sadistic. She enjoys killing, and that always worries me too. When I've got one person at one level of willing to kill you, and another person who's really into killing and takes that killing to a whole nother level. That's where I also worry about Storm in this contest, right? Because Stormfront wants to kill you. Like she would get nothing better. This would be a story that she would tell to her kids. She might even try to take a souvenir, like your head or something like that, to put on her mouth. That's where she's at with that. Okay. So going into it, I'm like, okay, we got our storm powers. We going, hit you with some wind, hit you with some lightning. Like, okay, she's probably going to be able to take that particular lightning. She also generates lightning herself, so I don't know if she tries to hit your lightning beam with her lightning beam, or she can absorb this, okay? But some of our more conventional weaponry isn't going to work on her, right? That's one of the things. She also has the ability to fly, and that's where she's going to, make up some ground on you in terms of like, this is an aerial combat, right? And she's, she can fly, and she's got superhuman strength. This is kind of flying tank right here, right? This is like, imagine you're fighting, kind of against Rogue. Somebody, now depending on how fast she can fly, which I don't have any numbers on that. Like, anybody who's flying and super strong is always very dangerous. So if you're Storm, the first thing I have to say on Team Storm as we're game planning this out is, this is not going to be a physical battle. You are not going to get into fisticuffs with this lady. None of what you learned on your hand-to-hand combat is going to matter right now, because we're not doing that, because you can't take that. Like, physically, right? Physically, you're not going to be in the scuffle with her, right? That's not what's getting ready to happen. So we're going to have to, the first thing I thought of is, if we're going to get Stormfront, Aurora has the ability to control like molecule, right, air particles, right? Her aerokinesis is a part of what she does. Obviously, she's controlling the wind, right? Aerokinesis. This is the power here that really stands out to me, because what that tells me is that she can control the air inside of your body. She can control the air in your lungs. So that gives Storm like an ability to jack somebody up on a whole nother level, like very, very easily. Now, Storm is not what I would say like a killer like that, okay? All right. Now, I understand faced with a threat because she come through. I'm definitely hoping that she comes through on doing the right thing, okay? But that would have to be the path. That's immediately how I think about you have to go about winning this fight. And the other thing that we really got to be concerned with is her level of strength. And I mean Stormfront when I'm talking about her level of strength, right? And fast forward, and the match suit guy. I don't know. Man, I really like. I'll look it up, man. I'll do a little research. I hate the Fantastic Four. Just being really honest with you, right? I'm just being honest. Anyway, okay, we'll get to the Fantastic Four, but let me get this. Okay, so I'm looking at this as we're strategizing, getting through this fight with Stormfront. Okay, you cannot take a blow. All right, and here's why. Stormfront's really strong. I don't know if you guys have looked this up, but she is strong enough. In her wiki, it says that she was able to throw a Boeing 747. That's what it says in her wiki. I just looked that up before I did this post. I want to do a little research on this one, okay? So if she's got that kind of strength, that tells me, Aurora, you cannot take one punch from this girl. So Aurora can't take a punch from her. Again, I believe Aurora's a more powerful person. I believe she's more skilled. I think she's more significant. I think she's way better looking. And I think she's a lot nicer. So everything points to me going for Aurora in this, and I'm 100%. I'm simply trying to project out how we get through this fight with Aurora's face still looking like she's human, okay? Because Stormfront can and will do some damage to you. So, again, if you guys have something else you want to throw out there, but I think our paths to victory can be a swift and certain path, but I don't think we have a lot of paths if we're going in this fight. If we're going in this fight, we need to be decisive about how we're going to attack this old racist killer. And the way that I'm bringing it down is that you're going to have to go to your ability. You're going to have to go to your aerokinesis ability. Right? I'm looking at Storm's power set. I think that's the fastest and easiest way for us to come through this fight with that W. And it's important. We don't want to lose Storm. We love Storm. I love Storm. You guys probably love Storm to some degree too. We hate Stormfront. So with a little bit of game planning, I think this fight is definitely ours.